A couple weeks ago, when I switched to BC Hydro's Timeday billing, I figured it was going to save me some money. Well, the bill is in. Let's see how much I saved. It's going to be a quick one. I just want to share some of my utility bills that I've got since I switched my electric to Timeday billing. And I suspected I was going to save a bunch of money. I didn't know how much I was going to save, but I knew I would save money by going to Timeday billing. So I want to share that with you now that the bill is here. Now this one here, this is my gas bill, just for comparison, because I know people are going to say, well, you know, your electric bill is much higher than mine. And that's true, because I don't heat my hot water with gas. I don't heat my house with gas. I have gas in the house for the backup furnace in case the heat pump goes down. And I run a gas fireplace in the winter and a gas barbecue, and we cook with gas, the gas range. And this is my gas bill, $14.71 for the month. So before someone starts complaining and saying how high my electric bill is, look at your gas bill, because I guarantee you your gas bill is going to be higher than that if you're heating your hot water, for example, with gas, or you're heating your house with gas. So I've got a couple of electric bills here I want to show you. So prior to time of day billing, this is based on 2 months, because prior to going to time of day billing, we were billed on a 2-month cycle. So over the course of 2 months, I used $786.68 in electricity. Now, my air conditioning had not been turned on at that point. It's going to be higher this month for sure, because I've turned on the AC, but for the 2 months that this bill was for, the AC and the heat was not on, because it's warm enough. We didn't need to use the heat, and it didn't need to turn on the AC. So for 2 months, there was no AC. This is just my average usage for things like heating the hot water, running aquarium pumps, running the hot tub pump, running my equipment, charging my cars, 2 electric cars. And if I go back and look at my historical usage, it's always been about that. When the AC was running, I think last summer I hit $1,200 for 2 months. But you know, that's the way it is when you're using electric power. We get hosed on our power because there's a 2-tiered system, and I can go over the 2-tiered system right here. So basically, how it worked is there was 2 steps on the chargers. First of all, you pay $13 just to be connected. I'm just making sure that yeah, see, here's the prior bill. That's the prior bill, $958. That's when the heat was still running. So I was heating the house with the HVAC system, the heat pump. So my prior bill was $958 for the 2 month prior to this bill, which dropped to $786. And that's just the amount that I saved by not having to run the heat. It was based over 61 days. You're charged 23 cents a day just to be connected. So $13.74 is the basic charge. And then the first step is I used 1,354 kilowatt hours at 10.97 cents per kilowatt hour for $148. And then I moved into step 2, and it goes up to 14 cents a kilowatt. And that step 2, I used 4,542 kilowatt hours for $639. And then there's the taxes. Oh, there's the discount on here. We get a what they call a deferral account rate rider, trade income rate rider. I get a couple percents off there, so I save $38 there. Get the regional transit levy, the electricity affordability credit. What's that one? I guess, yeah, we still get that. And then the taxes on that, GST. So $786 based over 2 months. My next bill is based on 30 days when I switched to time of day billing. There it is there, $326. The savings are quite substantial. It says 16% of my usage was during the peak, the on-peak period, and the rest of it was in the non-peak and overnight. And I can review this. It's going to be bigger this month because the AC has been on, so I've been using a bit more in July. This is going back the last year, from last year, right? But you can see that the June to July was roughly the same, right? A little bit more in the June bill, but not much. It's about 400 kilowatts difference, but over the course of 2 months. If I doubled the amount that I used, it's about 400 kilowatts difference, which is not a lot. If we were to take last month's bill and divide it by 2, that would be $393 on 1 month. And as you can see, this one's $326. So there is a savings. There is a good chunk of change being saved. I'm going to go over some of the other numbers on here. So if we look at the total usage, I used 5,896 kilowatts over 61 days. And then I used this over the 30 days, I used 2,740 kilowatts. So it's not quite half, it's a little bit less than half, but it's still close. So if we look at, and this was over 30 days versus 61, so there's an extra day in here. Well, there's an extra 31 days in here. But if we look at 586 or 5896, and we divide that by 2, that would be 2948 based over a 30-day, well, 30 and a half days, let's say. How it breaks down is, and on the old system, we had a step 1 charge of 10 cents or 11 cents per kilowatt. It's the same, but 1,354. This time we only get to 666 kilowatt hours on step 1 because it's still got the stupid the second tier. It's a little bit less because half of 1,354 would be 677, and they're bumping the price up at after 666. So it's not quite half because based on a 30-day billing cycle versus a 60-day. But the other advantage to this, of course, is that this resets every 30 days instead of every 60 days. Here's the breakdown, however. There's a surcharge that's charged during that peak period between 4 in the afternoon and 9 at night. So that surcharge added, because your regular off-peak, there's nothing. That surcharge added $22 to the cost of it. But the overnight discount was $57 pretty much, $56.95. So that netted me $34.75 in savings. Nothing else changed, and that's for 1 month. $34.75 was the savings, although we still get some of the other credits as well. But still, it's enough of a savings to make the change worthwhile. On the other hand, if we look at what the bill was last month, it was $786. If we take the $786 and we cut it in 2, so that would give me an average for 30 days, and we subtract the $326 of this month's bill, the difference is $67.22. So in 1 month, the actual savings was $67.22. When you factor all this other stuff in, all the other credits and surcharges, $67.22. That's right where I figured when I did the estimate after the first week, I figured I was going to save around $60 a month, and it has. I've saved $67.22. So that just proves that for those that can adapt to the time of day billing, it will save money. And how I adapted to it is devices that can be programmed, I've programmed them. My electric hot water heater, for example, is on a timer. It shuts off at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It turns back on at 11 o'clock at night. There's sufficient hot water in the tank that the water never runs cold during those times. However, we're not drawing a lot of hot water. We're not filling up bathtubs or taking showers and stuff in the evening. That's done in the morning when the water tank is still on. And we do our laundry early in the morning. We don't do our laundry at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's done like at 7 o'clock in the morning before the rate goes up. It's done before 4 o'clock. and my car is charged after, in the overnight period between 11 at night and 7 a.m. That's when I charge my cars. That's when I do the heavy lifting. That's when I run everything full tilt. Even my hot tub, I've just gone in and programmed that because I have to reset. I was cleaning it out, draining it, and refilling it. I have now got into the program operation on that. It has a time clock built in. I had to figure that one out, but I can set it so that it does not heat between the hours of 4 p.m. or 1600 and 2300. It's a 24-hour clock. So between 1600 and 2300, it won't heat. It's not heating now anyway, but in the winter, it will heat it up at night, and then it'll just go dormant in those hours, and it'll cool down a couple degrees, and then it'll come on. But again, it's all about getting out of the off-peak period, and it's working. Anyway, I just figured I would share that. It's gone on probably longer. I'll edit this down so it's only a couple minutes. Just wanted to show you guys that there is a substantial savings to be made if you can accommodate the time of day usage. Now, I know it's not going to work for everybody, right? If you don't have big devices that draw a lot of power, if you can't put a timer on your hot water tank, for example, then it probably won't work for you. But if you can, the savings are there.